which is create jobs and wealth. It's really simple. The tough part is having the courage to implement that. And that's the reason that Craig and his colleagues, over the course of the last 6-8 years in particular, have put Texas on this course that we're on today. They made the hard decisions. In 2003, you got criticized. We all got criticized for making cuts in our spending. But that's what put us on track to be the most successful state in the country during this economic crisis that we're in. And you know, Gail Lowe will tell you about the education side of it. She understands that the improvements that we made to our public education system, the increased accountability, largest teacher incentive pay program in the country. We got a real emphasis on our core subjects. Matter of fact, a couple, 3 weeks ago, I called for doubling the number of our STEM academies. Those are science, technology, engineering, and math. Those are the core subjects. Those 4 areas are where we really have to be focused because they're the future jobs in a technology-driven world. And we got to cut down on the dropout rates that we have in the state of Texas and expand the opportunity for our students across the state. And a couple weeks ago, that's where I called for these virtual schools. There are kids across this state that they may not have the same situation that the vast majority of children have with 2 parents and working folks and what have you, and they may have to drop out of school for a year or so. There may be something happen in their life. And these virtual high schools give them the opportunity to continue on to get that diploma or that GED. And that's really important because historically, when they dropped out of school, they were done. And they were a dropout from then on, and it impacted their lives, and it impacted our state in a very negative way. So we're working really close with the legislature and TEA to put that virtual schools in there where they can, you know, still go work or still get back onto a track that gets them that diploma or that GED. Now, they may not graduate on time, but the key is they're going to get there. The result is the right result. We're also working on another little program, TEA and the Department of Public Safety, to leverage the incentive, I guess is a good word, of your driver's license. If you aren't working towards getting that high school diploma or GED, you're not going to get a driver's license. And that, again, it's putting the incentives in the right place. And it doesn't matter whether you're in a bricks and mortar school or whether you're in a virtual school. You're working towards getting that that high school diploma or that GED. And that approach will give our local school districts another tool to reduce dropouts and give kids the incentive to do the work. And that's what we're trying to do. Sometimes when the coach made me run those extra laps, I didn't like it, but the incentive was there, and we had a successful. It made me be a better student, made me be a better person. And you know, as we work to raise the quality of Texas education even higher, one of the things we need to do, Senator, is also lock in some wise limits on our spending in Austin, Texas. You know, the great news is we've got a balanced budget amendment in our Constitution in Texas, but we need to keep Texas on track to maintaining its strength economically, and I hope the legislators will agree that we need to put a constitutional amendment in front of the people that basically says to raise taxes in Austin, it takes 2/3 vote of the legislature. We need to continue to set aside those rainy day dollars. And I told somebody, I said, I bet you every governor in the state of Texas would dearly have loved that stood up last year and said, we balanced our budget, we cut taxes for 40,000 small businesses, and my instinct is that this is one of those businesses that got a tax cut off of that last year. and we left $8 billion in that rainy day fund. I know Arnold Schwarzenegger would love to do that. But anyway, those are some of the sensible approaches that are going to help us weather this dual threat of global economy meltdown and then a federal government that would rather spend our tax dollars than say no. And, you know, there's another example, kind of help them learn to say no. I hope that Congress, and if Congress won't take that step, that the state legislators will help them through that source to pass a constitutional amendment to the U.S. Constitution that requires them to have a balanced budget in Washington, D.C. I think that is